Header up.
Rob and Chris, they're on the air. Yankees, Mets, they're everywhere. From the Bronx to Queens, the diamond gleams. MLB talk, the ultimate team. MLB is the place to be. Rob and Chris with the pitch you'll see. Swinging stats and stories fly. Baseball talk that's amplified.
And welcome to a new episode of NYMLB Talk with your host Rob and Chris as we cover the Mets, Yankees, and all of Major League Baseball. And if you're on YouTube right now, hit that sub button. We would really appreciate it. The like button. Hey, and you know what? Give us a share too. That would be awesome. But anyway, thank you for joining us. And if you want to follow us on Twitter and on TikTok, it's at NYMLB Talk. Rob is at Armaraska. I'm at CP7NY. So here we go. Rob, what is going on?
The same old stuff that we talked about on Monday, that's going on now for the Mets, but worse. And I guess the Yankees too. Let's get to the Yankees first. What is going on with the Yankees, Chris?
Not good. After getting swept by Boston in Boston 4 straight, they come back home and they play Detroit, who they beat 2 out of 3 just last week. So it wasn't. So maybe the Yankees could kind of get out of that slump that they're in. They're not scoring. They're playing horrible defense because we get all these injuries and you got guys playing out of position. And things just didn't work out, right? Against Detroit. We got swept by Detroit. 3 games. Even Cam Schlittler, who's been great. Yeah. He's been great all season. He's the front runner for the American League Cy Young. He even gave up some runs, and he had his worst outing of his career, really. Against Skubal. And then the last game was an embarrassment. They were getting shut out going into the 9th. They were gifted 2 runs. 1 run because they did get a home run by Rosario. They tied the game, and then they couldn't score the ghost runner in the 10th inning, and they end up losing 6-2. So anyway, right now they've lost 7 straight games. Now they got a 3-game series against the Twins, who they normally dominate, right? Going back to, the 60s, they've been great against the Twins. So I'm hoping that this is going to kind of, get them going a little bit, because starting on Monday, guess who they got to play? They got to go to Tampa for 4 games. Sure. I can't imagine going in there with no momentum. If they go in to Tampa with no momentum, they got no shot against that team. But they are getting Grisham back, and they are getting McMahon back tomorrow. So you're getting those 2 guys back. That should at least improve the defense, right? And then the offense, Grisham was red hot before he got hurt. So hopefully his back, it's kind of sparked the offense. The offense has been really dead for these 7 games here. So, right now it's not good, but Minnesota's coming into town at the right time, hopefully, for the Yankees. Because they usually cure a lot of ills for the Yankees. So that's what I'm hoping for.
They sure do. So what's the main problem? I mean, besides them not scoring runs, what's going on with them though? What do you feel? What's in their heads now?
I just think, when a team is losing like this, it's hard to break out. Right. And everybody's up there. They want to be the hero. They want to be the guy that's going to break open this game, is going to break this bad streak that they're in right now. So they all want to get up and, hit a big home run. And you're seeing guys maybe just trying a little too hard out there. So it's getting frustrated. They're all getting frustrated. The big bats that are in the lineup are not getting it done. Bellinger's been horrendous during this streak. He's in a really bad slump. You got Bellinger. You got Ben Rice. Ben Rice, I thought, was going to start to break out of it because he looked like he was just missing a couple of swings in Boston. He did hit a home run off of Skubal. So I'm hoping that, that he's going to start, getting out of this little slump he's in. But they gave up in the last 12 games. They've given up 23 unearned runs in their last 12 games. That's their most unearned runs in a 12-game span since 1989. And during their 7-game losing streak, they've only scored 17 runs over the last 7 games. So that just shows you. And they've given up the same amount in unearned runs, 17. the team in the last 100 years to have a 7-game stretch in a season with 7 losses and 17 plus unearned runs allowed and 17 or fewer runs scored. It's this team, the Yankees, and the 1989 Tigers. That's it.
Wow.
That shows you how bad they're doing.
And Dan says Bellinger needs to get started.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's in a really, really bad slump. And you know what? They gave him a nice contract in the offseason, right? I think it's time to start earning that money. I get it. There's injuries, right? Judge is out. Stanton is out, right? Grisham is out. McMahon is out. We get the injuries. But you know what? Bellinger, you're still here. You're still getting paid $30-something million a year, right? It's time to put the team on your back and carry this team. Between him, Ben Rice, those guys have to start doing it, right? You got Grisham coming back tomorrow night to start the Twin Series. That's going to be a lot better help. You know, these guys got to do it. You can't count on, Jason Dominguez, who I'd like to see, run with all this playing time, but he's just not getting it done offensively either. Spencer Jones, he's starting to hit. I think, he's starting to get it. But, man, catcher position, we've been talking about it.
Right.
Absolutely nothing from the catching position with the bats. So something has to change here. Judge supposedly spoke to some of the players that weren't, that didn't have the full attention in the game or whatever it was. All right, whatever. You know what? Just get it done. Enough of this. Enough. You lost first place. You're out 3.5 games now. So I think it's time. You got to say, okay, we got injuries. So does every other team. Yeah. Should we point out every other team's injury? You guys have had injuries.
Yeah.
It is what it is. That's a part of the game.
Injuries. The Mets team photo is an MRI. That's
right.
How many injuries the Mets have had. So all right, you're injured. Everyone's got to deal with that. But at least the Yankees, the Yankees are going to make the postseason. Okay? Check this out. The Mets are the only team in the National League East under 500. Okay? The biggest payroll, and they are the only team that's under 500. All right? That is a disgrace.
Yes.
And do you think
pressure
I guess
got to
talking
him?
about Bellinger.
Bellinger, maybe. You know what? Yeah, I mean, it could be because you know what? He's never really been that guy on any other team. Like the guy that, the main guy, the main offensive weapon on a team. Even when he had that great season with the Dodgers when he won MVP. I mean, yeah, he was, but he wasn't the guy going into the season, right? They didn't expect Cody Bellinger to be MVP. So, yeah, I mean, of course, when you first sign here, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to bat, in the same lineup as Judge. I'm going to get all these pitches to hit. Yeah, now they're starting to pitch around him, and he's probably probably trying way too hard, so he's swinging at pitches he probably normally wouldn't swing at. So yeah, he's trying too hard. Is the pressure getting into him? I think so. I'm sure it's getting to him because now the pressure I think is getting to everybody. Because like I said, everybody wants to try to, be the hero, be the guy that ends this streak. And you could see they're just trying way too hard, and it's just not happening. So I think they just got to I think this day off came at the right time. They could all just kind of go home, clear their heads a little bit, hopefully, and come back Friday. And all right, we got the Twins. Okay, this is a team we normally beat, and just start going. And then, you know what? Monday starts the big series against Tampa. And that's when, that's when it gets really serious.
Yeah. Well, here in New York, for people who aren't around here, it's been brutally hot, but the Mets and Yankees have not been brutally hot at all.
Yankees and Mets are the complete opposite of hot.
Yes, of the weather. And the Mets right now, check this out. For the highest payroll, the Mets are 35-51, 50.5 games behind the Braves. Okay, the wild card, just forget about it. Okay, the Colorado Rockies are the only team below them, and that's by a game. So goodbye wild card. Citi Field will be so empty after the All-Star break that the Mets are going to go 2020 style and put cardboard fans in Citi Field's seats. That's how empty it's going to be, because it's just who wants to see this? Who wants to pay for this? It's just a disaster. And they're going into Atlanta this weekend, and we know what usually happens when the Mets go into Atlanta. They get their butts kicked. So it's just going to be a big mess. And I'm glad today was an off day because I needed a break, Chris.
I'm with you, because trust me, I actually made a joke to a couple of my friends today about that. I'm like, you know what? I think we all needed a break today. Both teams, fans needed a break today from our teams, because what we've been seeing lately is just awful. It's just awful. So I like I said, hopefully the day off not just gave us a break, but hopefully it gave the teams a break, and just to kind of reset a little bit. And hopefully, hopefully they come back tomorrow night and start a winning streak, because that would be nice right now for both teams.
I think the Mets need a 40-game winning streak for anything to matter right now. It's the only team in the National League East under 500. That says it all. It's crazy. There's other things with the Mets that we got to get to. First, you want to bring up that Fire Stearns picture? We'll start with that. All right. Steve Cohen explained it. Steve Cohen did an interview, and we're going to get into that. But he explained why the fan with the Fire Stearns sign was kicked out of Citi Field. Okay. He said that it was because the fan was ruining other fans' experience. No, the Mets were ruining the other fans' experience. Okay? This guy wasn't. The Mets were. Okay,
right.
That, first of all. Second of all, he said he was annoying everybody. And so Cohen wasn't at that game, by the way, and security escorted him out. Listen, if a fan wants to show a sign that says Fire Stearns, just let him do it. Because let's face it, he's the reason why this team is the way it is. I don't care. I know he doesn't bat, he doesn't pitch, he doesn't field, but he put together this team of, it's like misfits. It's like the Bad News Bears, Let's stick this one at first base. He played an inning there. We keep talking about that. Let's place a guy who not the greatest fielding shortstop, but a great hitter for Toronto. Let's stick him at third, and let's just have a mess. But don't worry, center field's going to be great because we're going to have Robert Jr. there from the White Sox. It'll be all right. Yeah, okay, he won't get hurt. It's like, how could? I mean, Stearns makes a lot of money, Chris. Okay. He's one of the highest paid, and he's president of baseball operations. Like I said the other day, he's not the GM. Maybe he needs to hire a GM, maybe that's what the problem
to actually do the job,
yeah. But, something, it's just a mess watching these guys play, making stupid errors, stupid decisions on the field, leaving runners at scoring position all the time, and losing games, but not scoring runs. I mean, how many games do the Mets only score one run in? It's ridiculous, and it's boring, and fans are getting sick of this. So, do you want to talk about the Cohen interview, Chris?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, for me, like, this team has to start playing better. Right. And I think I said it the last time too, is that Stearns or Cohen should have came down, right, and had a team meeting with the players and say, listen, you got till the All-Star break. If you guys don't, straighten this out, start playing better, we're going to blow it up, right? Or I'd not say it that way, but there's going to be major changes. Right?
Yes,
you could say it that way. Right. There's going to be major changes, and players know, like, all right, with the trade deadline coming up and who knows with the CBA, like, yeah, there's going to be changes made, right? So, but nothing like that happened. So I think they've already made their bet. I think they know they made their plans. Like they know they're going to start selling. And I'm sure the players have have that feeling too. Like, all right, we're playing this bad. We got no shot now. Like you said, we're the only team below 500 in our own division. So we got tons of teams that we got to pass here just to get into that, wild card conversation. So yeah. So right now they're in a bad spot, and like you said about Stearns, like how many good, we talk about all the bad decisions. What good decisions did he make? That's the easier argument, right? Because there's not many of those. So,
Luke Weaver turned out pretty good.
Devin Williams, I think, has been okay, right?
But does Luke Weaver shock you at all? I mean, being a Yankee fan and how he played for the Yankees, does Luke Weaver shock you?
I guess yes, but then I've seen him pitch well with the Yankees, right? I have seen him pitch this good. He has gone on runs like this, but then we've seen him be really bad on the other side as well. So, you know what, with him, and he's not the youngest guy either. I'm not saying he's old, but he's had a long career already. So is he all of a sudden putting it together these last 2 years? Like in 2024 with the Yankees, he had that great run with us going into the playoffs. And then last year he was not good. He was hurt. So, but now he's back to being really good again with you guys. He's on this great streak. I don't know. Is this just who he is? Is he just a streaky guy? So maybe next month, he might go the other way with a streak. I don't know. But so I don't know what to expect from him. So I guess it's a little bit of a shock, but then a little bit like, hey, I've seen him do this. So he has pitched as good. So yeah, it's going to be, you mentioned it. Like, do you want to trade him? I know you don't want to trade him, but listen, if you get the right offer for him, I think you got to trade him.
Yeah,
I'm not trading him just to trade him.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And this is a good key in it to the Cohen interview, because one of the things he said was he knows that the farm system is in trouble. And the thing is, this farm system, Chris, 2 years ago was one of the best farm systems in Major League Baseball, and now it's in trouble. I mean, when he said that, what did you think of that?
That to me shows you, do you really trust your GM to continue building this farm system? I don't know. Like, if you're worried about the farm system, wouldn't you try to make changes in the front office or changes in the, in
the development? Yes, the scouting. Yep.
Right. Coaching, something down there. I'm hoping that's what happens, but for you guys, hopefully that happens, but I don't know. It didn't make me feel confident. No. If the owner is saying that, if he sees it, that's not good.
No, and something has to be done. And that's why, the Mets are going to have a fire sale, and they're going to restock that farm system somehow. And Luke Weaver, unfortunately, because like I said, I love how he's pitching, and I would want him for next year, but there might not even be a next year, or it'll be late or whatever. We have no idea. So, of course, if they get the right offer, they're going to trade him. Anyone but, Soto, probably Lindor, hopefully McClain, because I still think McClain's going to amount to something. I really do.
He's got great stuff. I mean, that ball moves like crazy when he's pitching. So, and I think his last start, he pitched really well, right?
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah, I think that's the guy you're going to see more coming up. He's another guy. I know we've been talking about it since the beginning of the year, but he's another guy that pitched in the WBC that struggled early, in the season. And we could go down the list. When you look at that roster, I was looking at it today real quick, and every guy more or less has struggled at some point, especially early on, right? You could go with obviously Judge. He struggled early, and he really wasn't fully back even before he got hurt. Like he still wasn't like the Judge that we've seen the last couple of years. So him, PCA struggled early. he's really picked it up, but he struggled a lot, really bad that first month. Bryce Harper has been pretty good. Schwarber's been pretty good. But yeah, Cal Raleigh. I mean, how bad has he been, right? Then he got hurt, and since back, he's done nothing. Gunnar Henderson has struggled all season. So, you know, they're either struggled or hurt or both. So it's very telling. But anyway, that's a whole other show that we could talk about that. But
yeah. But so Stearns, you know, is a little worried about the farm team. So that really makes you confident. But who knows what's going to happen next year anyway. Then he said that Lindor and Soto are now getting along better, which means they did have a problem. And, you know, we knew something was going on in that clubhouse. But if it was between Soto and Lindor, why did they get rid of Alonso, Nimmo, right?
Right.
Why?
Right. That's the bigger question. Well, I think we know why they got rid of Alonso, right? Or at least we think, right? Because they offered him the extension, he turned it down, and whatever. It became a little more personal than just, you know, both sides just biting their tongue and saying, all right, you know what? This is the best for this franchise, for you and the franchise, for you to come back and let's just get this done. Let's figure this out, right? They never did that. So it is what it is. Nimmo, I think it was the contract, right? Instead of you know, the 5 years that was left, they got, you know, with Simeon, they only got a 3-year contract because the money was basically the same. You know, they're saving a few million, but not enough to make that deal. That was just, I don't know. Obviously, it looks worse now, but
but
it wasn't good when it first happened.
It was another bonehead move, really.
Right.
You get 2 homegrown guys that the fans love. Remember, the fans are paying to come out and see these games, merchandise, everything. How could you be a smart president of baseball operations, which means the whole deal? You're president of the whole baseball operation deal, and think to yourselves, well, let me get rid of 2 of the most popular players on the team who are homegrown, by the way, you know, because it hasn't worked out with this core. But it almost did work out with the core in 2024. Last year, it was a mess because there was stuff going on in the clubhouse, and now we know Lindor and Soto. Well, of course, they're not going to get rid of Soto, and they're not going to get rid of Lindor. But let's get rid of the other guys, you know, who are leaders on this team. It just makes no sense. It has Met fans boiling. And Steve Cohen getting back to the fan that they threw out for the fire Stearns sign, right? He said, well, fans, I don't care. Fans could say whatever they want. I don't care if they yell Pete Alonso, which, you know, of course that got back to him. But you got to give the fans what they want in most cases, right?
Right.
Pete Alonso, we've been talking about this since it happened, since he signed with the Orioles. That was one of the stupidest moves in the history of the New York Mets, where you get your team's home run leader, popular guy, team leader, plays every day. Every day the guy plays.
Yep.
And you just let him sign without saying, all right, listen, go out there, get your offers, come back, tell us what it is. Maybe Alonso didn't want to come back and tell them what it is. Maybe he was fed up with them too. Right? You know, because,
And
so,
you know what? And with him too, like you brought it up, right? Leadership. That to me, you let him go. So this is where it kind of trickles down, right? Think about this. Juan Soto, not the leadership type of player. And I'm not putting him down whatsoever.
No.
But here's the problem. When you play for a New York team, Mets or Yankees, and you're the highest paid player, best player, great player, all that on the team, and there's no captain and there's no leadership, guess who they're going to try to go to? Guess who they're going to say, okay, who are we going to ask questions? Oh, we got to go to Soto. He's the guy. He's the lead. You know, he's the main guy here. No, he's not that type of guy. He'd rather be the Robin to someone's Batman. Like 2024 with the Yankees, nobody, like, everything was, you didn't even know Soto was there. You know, he just put up his numbers and that's it. that's the type of player Soto wants to be. He just wants to be the guy, like, just give me my uniform, give me my bat. I want to play my game, and that's it. I don't want to deal with the politics. I don't want to deal with the questions. Just let me play ball, right? That's all he wants to do. And I don't blame him, but unfortunately, when you're playing for the Mets and there's no other leadership guy there to kind of take the bullets, guess what? They're going to go to Soto, right? If Alonso was there, Alonso would take the bullets, right? Alonso, hey, we stink. We're not playing well. We got to play better, right? Whatever. He would face it up to everybody there. But I think that's where the comment that Cohen said, oh, there's never going to be a captain named as long as I own the team. He should have never said that. He should have said, listen, if the team wants a captain, they will name him, and then we'll take care of that. But I'm not going to be the guy, that's something that has to come from the team. And that's what I would have left it. Let the players figure it out, because obviously there's nobody there that wants to be a leader. And maybe if he didn't say that and he said, hey, the team has to figure it out, maybe Lindor would have said, hey, I've been here the longest now. I'm the guy. I'll be the captain. Whatever.
You're right. All right, so let's get back to Cohen and his interview. So he said Lindor and Soto are getting along better now. He also said that there won't be an issue finding a new manager. Well, of course not, because even if veteran guys or whatever don't want to put up with this crap, you're going to get other guys who want their chance of managing, like Pujols, right? Or, Beltran, who will come in and manage this team. So obviously there's not going to be a problem, Chris, finding a manager for the Mets, right?
No, I don't think so. Listen, it's still New York. It's still a job regardless, right? It's just a matter of finding the right guy. Here's the question. Are they going to go after a veteran guy? Are they going to go after like an analytical guy that Stearns is going to be able to kind of manipulate? I don't know. To me, that's the bigger problem. Like, what type of manager are they going to get? Like, Pujols has already said, hey, I'm ready. I'll take that job. Let's see if they hire someone like him or someone like Ross, right? Or I don't know who's going to be. Yeah, or Alex Cora. Are they going to get, Cora's already mentioned that too in an interview, right? He's already kind of threw it out there. Because it really, and you brought it up the other day. I forgot what show it was, but you brought it up about Mattingly. Is he going to stay past this year in Philadelphia? Because if he does, because everybody was saying Cora was going to go to Philly because he has a good relationship with Dombrowski, right?
Yeah.
So, but what if Mattingly does really well here and gets to, he's in position now for the playoffs. He's actually right there for the division now, right? He's only a couple of games back. So what if he wants to stay another year? That knocks out Cora going to Philly. So maybe Cora becomes the Met manager. So we'll see.
Like, what happens if, like with Mattingly, right? If the Phillies get close, okay, we don't know if they're going to be able to knock the Dodgers out. Let's face it. But what if they get close enough where Mattingly finally says, I could get that ring and as a manager? Because let's face it, if you don't get the ring as a player, the next best thing is as a manager, not even a coach. Okay. The coach, if he would have got one with Toronto, okay, bench coach, pretty cool. But nothing is like getting it as a player or the manager. Those are the two top things. I mean, do you agree with me, Chris?
Absolutely.
So if Mattingly's that close and he feels the Phillies are going in the right direction and they pick up the pieces, maybe Mattingly stays for another year.
Yeah.
So that's a good point with Cora. We don't know, but we know it'll be someone. It won't be Green because he does not want to manage.
No,
he wants to go back to doing what he was doing with the team. He doesn't want to be the manager, and he wasn't put there to be a permanent manager.
He's just he's a lame duck, right? He's just there for the rest of the season, figurehead type of guy, like just keep it going, like that's it,
Yeah, that's it. He's like when a team's getting killed in a game and they just put someone in mop-up guy,
There you go. He's a mop-up manager. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect
He's eating up
analogy.
innings right now.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
That's it.
Okay, so and let's see what else. Oh, so Cohen said also that the Mets won't they won't rally against the salary excuse me cap. Right? Isn't that what he said? Or they won't go against the salary cap.
Right.
Did you think they would?
Yeah. Listen, it is what it is. Like whatever it's going to end up being. Right. There's nothing. If it's a salary cap, who knows what we can't even guess what it's going to be. Right. Because they're so far apart in the negotiations right now. Like they're not even in the same room. Forget about the same paper. You know what I mean? They're so far away. So it's going to be tough. And listen, I think he mentioned that if everybody opts in, they're going to be at like $300 million next season for their payroll.
Yes.
So how much more are you going to add to that payroll if you're already at 300 million if everybody opts in? But that's the thing. You're probably going to get, Bichette is probably going to opt out, right? Unless something crazy happens with the CBA. But you know what? He's probably going to opt out because he knows next year is probably going to be a down year for the Mets, right? It's going to be like a rebuilding, retooling, whatever you want to call it. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. But I think he's going to see the writing on the wall and say, listen, and we talked about it already. The next free agent class, there's not many big bats in that class. So he's going to be the number 1 or number 2 bat in that class. So he should get a pretty good contract regardless, right? So, so he's going to opt out. Peralta, obviously, he's going to be a free agent. So you got guys that are good, but you got big money still here, right? You still got Soto. You still got Lindor. I mean, those guys alone are close to 100 million on their own between their two salaries.
And you know what, with Soto, what we've said, they're wasting the best years of that Soto has. Yeah. They're wasting these years. You signed this guy for a reason. And Stearns made a mess of this team. I don't care what anybody says. All right?
Absolutely.
Stearns made a mess out of this. He's showing me that he's a small market guy, and I don't think he's the main reason behind the Brewers' success. All right? Boy genius. Right? That's what they were calling him, right?
Yes. Yep. And so you're absolutely right. Because look, he took over a team that he had, I don't want to say a clean slate, but he had kind of like he could remake this team, and he already had a really good farm system. The Mets already had a really good farm system here. Epler did a great job in that sense. Like he had basically unlimited funds to sign guys and everything else. And what does he do? Look at the mess they're in right now. Like this team, you're going to have almost a $400 million payroll, and you got to go through a rebuild year next year.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. Boy genius. You know who the boy genius is? Theo Epstein was the boy genius.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's who was. Okay. Brings the Red Sox a world championship after 100 whatever years, and then the Cubs. That's a friggin' genius. Okay. That's a genius as a GM. This guy, he can't win when he has an open checkbook. And listen, people cannot deny it. Met fans can't deny it. We all were waiting for him to come in as a GM. We were excited because we really thought that it was going to change the franchise. Yeah, it changed the franchise. It made it worse than when the Wilpons owned it. All right. And that was because of, all the money they lost in the Ponzi scheme. So, if that didn't happen, things might have been different. And Dan, let me just put this up. Dan agrees with me. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. Something's got to give. How many rebuilds are we going to have to watch? I want to see a world championship again for the New York Mets.
I don't blame you. And you should, right? You got an owner now, because that was the excuse for a while, right? With the Wilpons, they're cheap. They don't want to spend money. Now you got a guy who's willing to spend money, but now you got a GM who doesn't know how to spend the money. So
Yes, that's it. But all right, I'm going nuts with the Mets. Let's change the subject for a little while. And what's going on with Wilson Contreras, Chris?
I don't know. All of a sudden, this guy's got an attitude problem and whatever else. I don't get it. I don't know where this is coming from. I always thought he was just a good solid player, but obviously he's got a little bit of a temper or whatever. And but listen, I'm not this Cade Cavalli. He's the one that really got him going, right? Because I think he's told him, all right, go walk on, boy, or something like that.
Yeah, he did, which he
right?
should have never
You heard
said.
it on the mic. Like you heard him say it.
Yeah.
So he really got this started. Yeah, Contreras could have just walked to first or whatever. But anyway, it happened. Big blow up, big, bench clearing brawl there. And so Contreras gets to 7 games. Cavalli gets to 7 games. Eaton got 5, I think, or 3, right?
Eaton got 3. Miles Mikolas got 5 games.
So there you go. And they all got fined money. They didn't say how much, but
another thing though, Contreras, listen, Cavalli should have never said that. And I think he tried to apologize. That was wrong.
Right.
I'm having a Facebook thing, but anyway, what my point is that he also started something with the Yankees the other day, right?
Yeah, a little bit. He was talking a little bit. I think it was to Will Warren. Will Warren, listen, Contreras kind of leans over the plate, like his arm goes over the plate. So if you pitch on the inside of the plate, you know what? You're probably going to hit him because he stands, kind of over the plate. So, yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, that's just the way he plays. So,
we got removed from Facebook for putting that picture up.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, whatever. We still have a lot of people out there. So,
okay.
All right. Well, we won't do that again. I mean, that's the first time that ever happened to us.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Anyway, I hope they come to YouTube and check it out. Right. Anyway, he also Contreras got into it with a fan. Some fan called him the P word, and he told the fan to meet him at Fenway. So he's fighting with everybody. This guy.
Yeah, I think he wants a fight. And listen, I know he's got a lot on his mind with the earthquake in Venezuela. I think he's got family there and friends. So I get it. I'm sure he's stressed out from that and he's worried and everything else. But so yeah, I think that is just adding to this whole thing, right? That he's going through. So I'm sure maybe some teammates are going to talk to him and say, hey, you got to cool it. And because now he's going to be out for 7 games. And this guy is on that team. He was basically their big power hitter, right? Because you don't have Roman Anthony there. So they've been having problems scoring runs. So now you take off, your best hitter. That's just going to weaken your team. And you can't do that, especially now. I mean, this is go time for all these teams. April and May is over. Now we're getting into July. We're getting close to the All-Star break, the trade deadline. Teams want to know what they got to do, right? Teams want to know, are we buyers? Are we sellers? Like, what kind of a team we got here? And if your best hitter is out with a suspension, that's not helping things.
No, not at all. It's not helping things at all. I think he's got to calm down. He's got to calm himself down because, I don't know. Some of these guys just they get hot-headed. I mean, a fan sending a message on X to you. Who cares, right? Who cares? I'm gonna, Rob and Chris, you guys suck. Yeah, okay. Let meet us at Citi Field or Yankee Stadium. I mean, come on, who cares, right?
Yeah.
Who cares about that? But all All right. I wanted to ask you a question because I was looking something over. There was a list of top catchers of all time, right?
Yep.
Who is your top catcher of all time?
I mean, to me, it's down to two guys. To me, it's down to Johnny Bench and Yogi Berra. I mean, neither guy I seen, so I can't say. I'm just going by stats. I'm going by the players that they were, from stories that I heard. I think it's got to be one of those two guys. I mean, out of players that I've seen, man, that's an even tougher question. Like the last 20 something years, obviously Piazza was the best home run hitting catcher, right? I mean, that guy was just offensively. He wasn't that great defensively. He did call a good game. He was solid defensively. He just didn't have the greatest arm.
Yeah, he didn't have a great throwing arm, but he was solid and framing pitches and everything. He was. I agree with you. See, I was lucky. I got to see Johnny Bench catch, right? And he was, I mean, he could do it all. The funny thing, though, Johnny Bench once said about Jerry Grody, who caught for the Mets, Grody was a great defensive catcher. Johnny Bench always said, if Jerry Grody was on my team, I'd be playing first base. All right. That's what Johnny Bench said about Jerry Grody. And Jerry Grody is one of the best defensive catchers there ever was. Okay. Wasn't a great hitter, but, listen, the guy caught Seaver for Seaver pitched. Think of the pitchers that Seaver pitched to. I mean, the catchers that Seaver pitched to, right?
Right.
Grody was great. Johnny Bench. Fisk, right? With the White Sox. Right? It's just amazing that battery. But I think for me, it is. I agree with you. I think it's Yogi Berra and Bench. Bench used to catch. I said this on the other show, the game. He used to catch with his throwing arm behind his back to protect it. Which was. Did you ever get to see any video of that, Chris?
Yeah. I think a lot of the older school catches do that, right?
Yeah, some did. Yes, you're right. Things are totally different back then. But Bench used to do that. Bench was just, he could hit, throw anybody out. I mean, they said they called it the bench. I forgot what they called it exactly, but teams just stopped running against Bench. It was just
any people in the comment section, if you want to put down the catcher who you think is the best catcher in history, you could drop it in there. Your favorite catcher, who you think is the best you ever seen. Like I said, I always go Berra, Bench, one of those two guys, and then more recently him. The guy who I think had a great run when he was a catcher is Joe Mauer. When Joe Mauer was a catcher. In his prime, he was unbelievable as a catcher, right? He hit really well. He hit for home runs, especially when they were playing in the dome. Everything changed when they moved to the new stadium, right? He was still a good hitter. He just wasn't a big power hitter anymore. But when he was a catcher, he was really good as a catcher. Recently you got Buster Posey. You got Molina was really good, obviously defensively. But overall, I mean, you got to go with those guys that we mentioned for sure.
Yeah, and I always, of course, I have a soft spot for Gary Carter. I mean,
he's another great one. Yeah, I mean, he's those guys. Yeah, to me, it's Bench and Yogi 1 and 2, and then after that, you could fill in with Carter and Piazza and Carlton Fisk was really good.
Right, of course,
forever.
Yeah. I mean, Roy Campanella, that poor, if he didn't get in that car accident, he was, he was amazing too.
Ivan Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Right.
Pudge Rodriguez. Yeah. Great. So there's been some excellent catchers out there. All right. Speaking of catchers, Jorge Posada, I wanted to talk about this. He said that the brand of baseball played today is straight up garbage. What do you think about that comment?
I mean, I don't know if the game itself, but I think he was. I agree with him if he's talking about with the analytics, where analytics it's all about analytics. It's not about it's I get analytics has always been around, right? They've always used analytics, but it's to me it's all the numbers. That's it. And and he also brought up about people get on Jeter and his defensive numbers. They don't look good on paper, but when you watched him every day, did you look at him and say, "Oh, this guy stinks as a shortstop. He's horrible"? No, you never thought that, right? Maybe at the end, yeah, he was older and yeah, maybe he shouldn't have been playing short his last couple of seasons, but I wouldn't think of him ever as a bad defensive shortstop. Was he Ozzie Smith? No, he wasn't the greatest. But he sure as hell wasn't the worst either. But his numbers tell you he was like the worst defensive shortstop. And that to me doesn't make sense. And Posada's, I think, talking about more about the numbers, how, everybody goes by numbers now. They don't go by, what you see on the field. It's more about what you see on the paper. And, oh, this guy's, defensive metrics aren't great, so he's not good. The whole thing was Alonso was never great on paper as a defender at first. Was he the greatest first baseman? No, but he could hold his own, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't losing games for you at first base.
No, he was and he got better as the years went by. He got better.
So I get it. He's talking about guys don't hit for average anymore. It's more about, it's all about the launch angle and hitting home runs. And nobody's worried about, doing the small things, moving guys over from second to third with less than 2 outs, or, hitting a sac fly instead of just, going for the home run. Just get the sac fly, get the guy home. There's no more. I hate to call it small ball because it's not small ball. To me, that's how baseball is played,
Yeah, it's like we were talking about this, and yeah, Dan definitely agrees with Posada. He's like me, old school. Like the art of bunting has been lost,
Right. Simple things.
They don't know how to bunt, these guys now. You ever see them try to move someone over on a bunt? They either strike out or they pop up. That's it. It's like they don't know how to lay down a bunt. It's crazy. So I understand what he's saying with that. Baseball has changed. I don't know. The analytics, to me, I like old time baseball. I don't need all this stuff going, computer. But, now this stuff is running baseball. It's no more, managers making decisions with their heart or with their head. That's what made the game, that's what made the game, when the managers were able to make these moves. And it's just been changed, everything to make the sport faster, instead of, intentionally walking someone, instead of throwing the 4 pitches where you could throw a pass ball or whatever. All right, take first base. Stuff like that just drives me crazy. And the limit, you could only, the limit you could throw to first base, or, what if you were going to pick somebody off on the fourth time?
Right.
I don't know. Are you, you're more.
I get it. Listen, look at a guy like Luis Arias, right? He's on, he had to settle and sign with San Francisco in the offseason, right? Late offseason signing. I think he signed a 2-year deal. I mean, this is a guy in his prime. He's 29 years old. He's a 3-time batting champion. He's led the league in hits twice. I mean, this guy's got a career .318 batting average, and he had to settle for a 1 or 2 year deal with the Giants at the end of free agency. It's not like a guy like that should be, one of the top free agents.
Right.
And because he doesn't hit home runs and he doesn't run the fastest, oh, he stinks. Oh, he's not a good defender. He's having a great year, in the field this year too, and he's batting .326, and nobody really talks about him because he doesn't hit home runs. He's not a home run hitter. And
Posada also said that they just accept strikeouts now, and there are. It's just you're right. It's either someone hit a home run, it's no more really small ball. And you miss that. You miss, that kind of baseball, or at least I do. Of course, I love the home run, but not only the home run. There's other
everything. I want everything. I loved everything about baseball. Yeah, I love the home run too, but I also love seeing guys, hit a ball in the gap or just get a base hit when they need it or just hit a sac fly when they need it. Like the Yankees, they needed a sac fly in the 10th inning. They had a man on third with one out. Usually it's like, okay, just make contact. Just put the ball in play and you'll get the run home. And it just doesn't happen, right? It's mind-boggling. Like here, like we talk about a Rise, right? Not a big home run hitter, but he hits for average. That to me is Tony Gwynn. What would Tony Gwynn be in this day and age? Like, would he be one of the greatest hitters that we've ever seen? Like, would they appreciate him now as much as they did 20, 30 years ago?
Probably
I don't
not.
know. Right. It's great.
Yeah, no.
And think about it. Tony Gwynn's like all time, one of the greatest hitters of all time.
And thanks, Dan. Yeah, I love old school baseball. And when we have a lot of the players on, the former players, they don't like a lot of this stuff either. And we come back to it. But the Yankees, they couldn't score. They couldn't win the game with the ghost runner the other night, right?
Right.
This ghost runner, it's got to go. And you know what? I understand. And we're talking about this again, but I don't care. All right, maybe Chris. Maybe I will go with. At least it's better than this. Maybe I'll go with Chris's theory if they want to put it in maybe the 12th inning. You know what? No, I won't. That's not baseball. Okay? That's not baseball. If that would have happened, and I know they don't do it in the postseason.
Thank God.
But if they did, because these idiots might decide to do that and ruin the postseason, we would have never had the Grand Slam single. Okay? Right. We would have never had that. So,
you know what baseball feels like now? It feels like an incomplete game now. Right?
That's a good point.
Right? Like it doesn't feel like a complete game anymore. Like we don't see what we used to see, right? It's just not a complete game. We don't have the Luis Arias play. Like there were more guys like him that hit for average, but maybe not hit for power, but they were pretty good hitters, right? Like you don't see the game played the same way. Now it's like, it's like all or nothing at the plate now. And to me, it's not great to see, but it is what it is. I mean, that's what baseball is now. I think eventually it's going to go back to that. I really do. Yeah, I do.
I hope so.
Because what else can they do? Like, what could be the next step? Like, especially now with the pitchers being, throwing 100 miles an hour. Like, it's nothing now. Will they lower the mound again? They were talking about moving the mound back a couple of inches. Is that going to do anything? I don't know. Like, but something's going to get done because offense is down, right? So usually when like when offense is down, that's when they made moves, right? That's when they added the DH. That's when they lowered the mound. So
true. Real quick, Chris, I know this is a baseball chat, but what are either of your opinions on hockey? We like hockey.
It's probably the best postseason in sports, right? To watch. I mean, postseason hockey is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, I love hockey. I love watching it. It's one of my favorite sports. Like after baseball and football, I put hockey as number 3. That's how I look at it. But
yeah, and there's nothing like going to a hockey game, really.
Absolutely I love going to a hockey game. It's awesome.
Yeah, so we both like hockey. There you go. I like professional. I also like hockey in the Olympics too.
Yes.
So
especially this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. So okay. Well, subscribe to ours and we'll subscribe to yours. There we go.
Greyhound Gold Horns. What's the name of your show? We'll post it real quick.
Yeah. What's the name of your show? And we'll post it.
And mention ours on your show, and we'll be good.
That's it. Once you type it in, we'll put it up if you type it in. But anyway, getting back to baseball, did you see that the Chicago Cubs scored 23 runs against the San Diego Padres?
That's crazy. The Cubs are one of those teams that, they were my World Series pick this year, them and the Yankees, but they started off really bad. But now they're back in it, right? Now they're right in it now.
Yeah.
So they could be a team here that you got to watch out for. Hopefully they are. Hopefully it's anybody but the Dodgers in the World Series in the National League. But right now the Cubs are back in it. I think they lead the wild card now.
Oh, okay. So you got a gaming channel.
Oh, gaming video. Okay.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
Well,
Thanks.
where do people go to
I
follow
guess
you on your
is it
gaming
at
channel?
Is it at Greyhound Goldhorns?
Yeah, is that it? If that's it, then everybody should follow you.
Yeah, go follow and check that out. Check that channel out. Yeah. Anybody but the Dodgers, right?
Yeah.
I think who wants to see except for Dodger fans, obviously. Who wants to see the Dodgers again?
They're the only ones.
Repeat it, right? Three-peat it. Hopefully there's some kind of like miracle or something that happens.
Yeah.
That would be great. Okay, same. Okay, Greyhound editor at Greyhound editor. Okay, we got it. So anyway, the real quick, I just want to, and this we're allowed to put up.
Do you think the Dodgers will go?
Oh wait,
they want series 2. Yeah, of course they definitely want to go back to the World Series, and you know what? We're gonna find out right away. Like not right away, but in the next couple of weeks, we're gonna see how bad the Dodgers want to go back. Because what moves are they gonna make at the trade deadline? I think that's gonna that's gonna determine a lot. Will they go after Tarek Skubal? Right? Will they make that big move and get another starter to add to that unbelievable rotation that's already there? Or will they try to add a bat to that lineup or someone in the bullpen? So we'll see.
I think they're going after Skubal. You just got that feeling.
I would think so.
Why not? Especially with next season looming and not happening for a while or whatever. Why not? I think they want to get this the three wins. I mean, when you win 3 World Series in a row, you're elite. You become in that elite class, right? The Oakland A's, the Yankees, you just go into that elite class. Get a chance to go watch series. Okay, well, yeah, we're going to watch it.
Yes, we definitely will.
So I think they're going to do whatever they can to get to that, 3rd World Series win.
Absolutely. Hey, because you know what? Not many teams go 3 straight. Not many teams go back to back, let alone 3 straight. So if you got a chance to go for 3 in a row, and they certainly do, and they got all their guys, everybody's healthy or at least more or less healthy on that team. Yeah, they're going to go for it this year without a doubt.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, and Ohtani, everyone's sick of Ohtani except for Dodger fans, obviously. But if you think about it, if he wins a 3rd World Series with them, oh man, Chris,
he might get into the Hall of Fame if he does that. Maybe
they already have his plaque made, and it's already printed because he's not going to play anywhere after the Dodgers anyway. So it's already printed. But this hour went fast as usual. But real quick, because we won't get kicked off of anything for this, could you put up the Staten Island Yankees? Yes, the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. I keep calling them the Yankees because they used to be the Yankees. The Staten Island Ferry Hawks are having a Star Wars night on Friday, July 10th. It's pretty cool, right? After the game, the kids get to run around the it's called glow around the bases for the kids after the game. So I guess they're going to have those glow things. I guess they're going to be like lightsabers, and they're going to run around the field. So that's pretty good. Go check them out with new manager.
They've had some pretty cool things, for the fans and everything. Yeah. So
the $5 beer.
Yeah. Hey, that's right there. Right. But they're doing a great job, man. The Ferry Hawks are doing a great job despite having a tough season. Right. They're still trying to get the fans there, and this way the fans have fun. So good on them.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway, all right, we are out of time already, Chris. I hope everybody has a great 4th of July weekend. Do you have anything to add before I announce the schedule?
No. Hey, listen, guys, thank you for joining us as always in the chat room. In the comment section. We appreciate it. We appreciate the follows. We appreciate the subs. everything. We appreciate it. TikTok and on Twitter, it's at NYMLB Talk. Give us a follow there as well. Remember, like us, subscribe us here on YouTube as well, Facebook. You know where to get us. We're on Mondays and Fridays usually. Obviously, we're on tonight, not tomorrow because of the holiday weekend. But thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And Monday, if you have Derek May's baseball card there, Chris. Monday at 3 p.m., we have former Cubs outfielder Derek May. He's going to join us to talk about his career, talk about baseball now. Looking forward, Chris, to have another former player on.
Yeah, it's always a great discussion when we have a former player on. They give us the great stories that you're not going to hear anywhere else. So definitely come back and check us out. Derek May, man, that's going to be a great conversation.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. And Wednesday night at 9 p.m., Clearing the Bases as usual. Hot new show. And then we'll be back on Friday at 10 p.m. So everyone, Chris, everyone have a great 4th of July weekend.
Happy 4th, everybody.